Hey everybody, Max and Brian here for IGN with some wonderful news for gamers. Mario Kart Tour is finally coming to smartphones. What could possibly go wrong, Brian?
That's right. The hit franchise Mario Kart, one of the most beloved and best-selling video game franchises of all time, is now available on iOS and Android. It's a free-to-play game, which means you have a free Mario Kart on your phone. And so obviously, everything's great.
And it's great news for everybody.
Yes. No, this actually sucks.
Oh.
The game doesn't suck. The situation sucks. The monetization sucks. The rollout sucks. And let me explain why. Mario Kart Tour is, like I said, free to play, but you don't actually really get a lot for that. Now, Mario Kart, obviously historically a awesome racing franchise where you use karts and items and some of your favorite iconic characters from Nintendo history to come together, race around courses, beat up each other, and hopefully bring home the gold. Historically, you had that broken up into speed classes, 50, 100, 150, and 200cc. Now, what that means is that every one of those 50 denominations that goes up, things get a little bit faster and more frenetic and chaotic. In Mario Kart Tour, available now as a free download, quotes, you have to pay money to actually be able to play on 200cc. And that's not like a one-time fee thing. That is $4.99 a month. So there's essentially a subscription service here. Now, Nintendo for years has been pretty awesome and generous in terms of shipping readily available, feature-complete games that you buy on day one and can kind of regularly unlock everything. They're not really somebody you would group in with like the EAs and the Ubisofts in terms of nefarious microtransactions.
No, they wouldn't want to cheapen the experience of a Nintendo game.
Exactly. You know, that's like something they've really held on to for a long time. But they launched Super Mario Run, for iOS and Android, and it was $9.99. And what that meant was for $10, you could get a feature-complete Super Mario game with dozens of levels, characters and items and everything you needed all right there in the package with no dirty microtransaction stuff at all. And gamers balked at it. They started this thing out as sort of a free to start game, which is another sort of way to get people's hooks in a little bit. And people who play games on mobile were like, I'm not paying $10 for a mobile game because the ecosystem here allows me to buy games for $1 or $1.99, even though these same people will spend $1,200 on a new phone, but won't spend $10 on Mario, the most iconic flagship video game character in the history of the world.
You know, with Mario Run, that's actually like a pretty fun option. Be like, you can play it for free, or you can throw $10 at it and have a Mario game on your phone.
Right.
And live the dream.
Exactly.
In this case, it's sort of like that?
Yeah, and so the issue with that was that not enough people bought into Mario Run. It undersold expectations. I think, shareholders, those sort of like nebulous people in the sky who were like, where's the money? They didn't get what they wanted. And so Nintendo had to reevaluate their mobile rollout plan, and we started to see stuff like Dragalia Lost, we saw Fire Emblem, stuff that essentially had straight up like gambling in it, things that were even banned in certain countries like Belgium. And so now we have Mario Kart Tour, which does not follow the Mario Kart Run model at all, because again, people didn't buy into it.
No, but if you want to jump in there and just do a few laps playing as your old favorite Mario, you can do that, right? For free?
You can. You can start as Toad, and you can unlock other characters using gems or rubies or whatever nonsensical non-Mario Kart, non-Nintendo currency have been added here for the first time. To play as Mario, you actually have to spend 20 actual real dollars to unlock Mario in Mario Kart, the game where his name is in the title. And so you can do that by grinding every single day, doing basically in-game logins every single day, or also paying for a pass, which is for the Gold Pass, $4.99 a month. Now, you're probably saying that's not too expensive, even though it's $10 or $2 cheaper than Disney Plus, which gives you like literally every Marvel and Star Wars movie, and also, I don't know, just $60, $55 cheaper than just straight up buying a brand new Mario Kart for Switch. But the issue is that this week on iOS, we got a little thing called Apple Arcade, which for $4.99 gives you fully finished, feature-complete, non-microtransactional games for $5.
But surely they don't have like a AAA kart racing, game with beloved mascots from the 90s, right?
Funny you say that. They actually do. They have a Sonic racing game, who is, as you know, Mario's mortal enemy in sport and platforming. You can actually use Apple Arcade, get a free month trial, and play Sonic Kart right out the gate in its entirety with no microtransaction stuff at all, along with like a couple dozen other games. And so this feels out of touch. It feels totally bewildered from the regular ecosystem of not only Nintendo, but also mobile gaming. And so what we're left with is this like kind of gross, icky feeling of a game that I genuinely believe is fun to play. I played about an hour this morning. I enjoy it. It's Mario Kart. You can play it all with one hand. It's super cool. But unlocking characters, unlocking carts, unlocking parts, and playing on 200cc is basically impossible to do unless you pay money. And that sucks, because at the same time, you have the Nintendo Switch, which you can bring everywhere, has Mario Kart 8, arguably the best Mario Kart game of all time, and that doesn't really nickel and dime you.
Now,
you know?
to clarify, you're not mad that you have to pay money in a video game, or that this is a game that wants money from you, because a completely free game is sort of a novelty.
Of course not. Yeah.
But in this case, it seems like they're charging a subscription, $5 a month to pay 200cc and then get gems occasionally, or you can just shell out for gems, or you can buy different packs like the one that will give you Mario.
Yes, and my issue with this specifically is that because not enough people bought Mario Run, there is no option for me as a Nintendo fan owning a mobile device to just pay 30 or 40 bucks for all of this crap once and then never think about it again. And so because there isn't that option, and my other option is a subscription service or buying characters piecemeal like Mario, I'm going to give them $0 because I think that's gross. So Nintendo went from getting 40 bucks from me, a schmuck, to getting $0 from me, a brilliant man.
Now calm down, you angry adult man, about the baby's toys. Nintendo is a family company historically, and you'd think that maybe they'd want to allow parents to have an option to be like, safely give this to a child on the iPad with no risk of them racking up things on a credit card bill.
Right.
So this is kind of puzzling that they would just sort of have only this version.
Yeah, it's kind of bums me out, and it's the kind of thing that I understand it. If you look at the returns on games like Fire Emblem and Dragalia, like those games did really well, and that's because there was a reason to get in there every day. There's this addictive property to it. There's this gambling element. In this game, it starts you off with 10 gems or rubies or whatever, and you can put them into a pipe, pull your finger down, launch them into the sky like you're literally blowing up money, and hope that in return you get some character like Baby Toad or like Bone Luigi.
Man. Well, that's a bummer. I mean, hopefully Nintendo listens to feedback and maybe, pumps the brakes, no pun intended, on some of these microtransactions. But in the meantime, if you want a definitive Mario Kart experience, there's always Mario Kart 8 Deluxe available now on the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch-Lite consoles.
That's true.
And the Wii U. You have one of those sitting around.
And if you want a full-fledged Mario game on your phone, there's Mario Run. It's $9.99. I feel like more of us should have bought that and sent them the message that like shipping a whole game for $10 is a pretty good deal, rather than $20 for just Mario.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, anyway, 2019 sure is a strange time for video games. Should they be $70 or completely free? We have no idea, but for all games, Mario, Karts, or otherwise, keep it right here on IGN.